Sunday show. Pelicans are 4-10. Chaz and Lito are virtual. 5 and Ross are in studio. Just had Theo's. Fantastic. 5, you're absolutely killing the pick'em right now. Please make sure you smash that like button. Lots to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Willie Green's in-game management. We're going to talk about Zion. We're going to talk Bucks picks. We're going to talk about Dyson Daniels, Herb Jones. We got a lot to talk about. Smash the like button. Let's do it.
First took away. That's for this. Get your money's worth now.
Presented by Scott Vicknair Injury Law Firm. Have you been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, hurt offshore? Scott Vicknair handles it all. Give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. Yes, a free consultation. They always fight for the win, and powered by 4D Energy.
It's the one.
Ross, welcome back to the show. Someone called you out the other night saying that you were lacking.
Play the May song.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Beans is back.
Appreciate the super chat, X Lito. That, by the way, someone said, that's Lito's beat. So shout out to Lito. Chaz,
hold 1 second. Byron the scientist. Let's give my dog his credit too, because he architected a lot of the shit that I sent you. So
shout out to you, Chaz. What's going on, man?
Oh man, just chilling, cooling out, brother.
Shout out to this entire network. 3 straight days of live podcasts. Friday recap, Saturday recap, Sunday we're live. Appreciate all the fans that showing up. Appreciate all the super chats. Best in the biz. We are the best podcast in the world, according to Lito. All right, let's get right into it. All right, so put out a clip earlier today, Jared. I want to hear your thoughts first on this, but I'm gonna play the clip. Okay. And look, I'm okay with, I didn't expect going into last night winning that game. Okay, I want to be very clear about that. Okay. But my problem is, especially with the fan base and some people that cover this team, is that they're okay with moral victories. I don't do the moral victories. Okay. I think that's poison. I hate that thought process, right? They played their ass off. Those G League guys, Brandon Ingram, like they did. They played their ass off. But once again, last night, I saw the same exact crunch time failures that I've been seeing for the last 2 years. So I'm going to play this clip. Okay. Both times, Brooklyn and Los Angeles, minute 4 left. Against Brooklyn, you're up 2. You have 2 timeouts. Against LA, you're down 1. You have 2 timeouts. There's about 2 or 3 possessions left in the game. Coaching 101, you got to know time, possession, situation. Very simple, okay? So right here, as you see, Brandon Boston 30-footer, and then Trey Murphy dribbling 30 different times. Why not, Jarrett? Call a timeout. Brandon Ingram's got 32 points last night. He's absolutely cooking. Call a timeout. Draw up your best set. Give yourself a chance to win the game, and go from there. If Brandon Ingram misses a shot or he forces a double team and we get an open look and we miss, so be it. But the Brandon Boston 3, a 30-footer with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, is the exact problem that I've seen over the last year and a half with him. He does not understand time, score.
Him just specifically, sorry. You said him. I just want to make that sure.
Willie Green.
Thank you.
Does not understand game flow. I've not seen any. He's not gotten better in game management since year 1. We're in year 4 now.
Yeah. And
stuff like this rears its ugly head every single time. And like, maybe I'm wrong here, Jarrett, but like, I'd love to hear your thoughts on, not calling a timeout. I just feel like he doesn't put his team in the best situation possible to win a basketball game.
Yeah. And he never has, to be honest. You cannot win just basketball games, especially NBA basketball games, on effort alone. It has to be strategic. These are also, you're playing against other NBA players. They're playing with effort too. Just like, it's like when people pray for a win. Like, you don't think the other side's praying for a win too? Like, nah, bro, you got to go solve it. You got to go figure it out. It's all strategic. You don't have a plan. You plan to fail. You also said, the coaching staff of Willie Green has to draw up a plan. They're not great artists at this point, right? They're not drawing up anything. They're not doing this is their best. This is what they have, right? They're going to just let the players play. Let Trey Murphy, that hadn't played a basketball game all year, dribble the ball 30 times, right? We're not going to put him in the best predicament for success. And we're going to let the two-way guy, Brandon Boston, shoot a 30-footer from the Smoothie King logo. Like, this is Brand. It's not Brandon Boston. It's not Trey Murphy's fault. This is the coaching staff putting them in those positions to make those plays and allow you to lose a basketball game.
Lito, walk me through this, because what I don't understand is in those two clips right there, whether you're up 2 or you're down 1, it doesn't matter. It's a possession game either way. How does Brandon Ingram not get a look? That's another thing. Like, once again, we can make all these excuses of, G League guys, this and that. The reality of the situation is you've had 2 games this week in which you have failed in the crunch time. Brooklyn, Monday night, Los Angeles, Saturday night. And you don't get Brandon Ingram a look at all at the end of the game. And he's your best player. Whether you like him or not, he's your best player on the roster right now. Ingram tried to tell you on the season press conference they've been surviving off talent.
Man, it's a it's a coaching malpractice. I don't have a lot of faith in Willie Green. I don't expect much at this point. I hate to sound like I'm checked out, but like, there's no reason for me to really be checked in, because we have, like, what, Justin, let me ask you this. What more, or what, from what you've seen, like, what more do you expect?
I just expect the basics here. I expect, like, look, I'm okay with losing. Like I want you to understand, like, I'm okay with losing that game last night. But you had a chance to win, and you just don't put yourself in the best possible situation in order to win. And
Exactly.
I've seen it with a healthy roster. I've seen it with G League two-way guys. I've seen it with Trey and Brandon. I've seen it with Zion and Brandon. I've seen this. I've seen the story. And it's the same thing over and over again. And like, I think it's poison. It's fine. So it's poisonous when the fan base is like, well, you had G League guys out there. Who cares? You had a chance to win last night and you didn't.
So you saw it with a healthy roster. You saw it with a hurt roster. You saw it with two-way players. You saw it with all-stars. And you think that there is another layer to something there. I just think what is there is what is there. He is a shell of a coach. I think we've said it plenty of times on this podcast that this team is really not going to go anywhere with him or another level with him as a coach. And then look, man, you got to throw Griffin there. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually, but it's the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
It's a shame.
The whole thing got to go.
You got somebody else on that bench that could help. That's a shame.
Speaking of which, Chaz, we'll go Chaz and Ross. I want to hear your thoughts on what Willie Green had to say after the game last night against Los Angeles.
As far as the effort of your team, how do you feel about it?
I mean, I speak for our whole group. We're extremely proud of the effort, the competitiveness that our group approaches the game with every night. They're playing together. They're not only giving us everything they have, but they're out competing, outworking, and even when we come up short, there's a lot of positives and improvements from where we were. So if we play like that, we're going to win way more games than we lose.
Chaz,
what's the exact question?
Just thoughts on if we play that exact way, we're going to win more than we lose.
I agree. I mean, they played hard. I think, I don't know how much of a revelation that actually is. You play hard, you kind of position yourself to have more success than not. But truthfully, I think the Pelicans just get what they deserve. I don't view it as much of an indictment on Willie Green as I do on the entire organization. It's not like I'm watching a bunch of players that I think deserve better. I think they're all a bunch of losers. So I just, it's not like, oh man, Tim Duncan's out there and look, he got fucking Chauncey Billups coaching them. It's like, nah, look, all y'all in cahoots together. Like, it ain't like, because a high IQ player can circumvent a low IQ coach. Chris Paul never had a good coach. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker went from Byron Scott to who he went? Byron Scott, to Monty Williams to Doc Rivers. Like it was just so much this black on black violence in his coaching history. And but Chris Paul has a Hall of Fame brain, so he was able to circumvent his coach's shortcomings. So I feel like, is Willie Green awful? Yes, but the players haven't shown a consistent growth in their IQ as well. And you have one of your higher IQ players in Herb Jones missing, which doesn't help, especially not defensively. Like you guys have pointed out, it's why you've seen so many struggles defensively. Offensively, though, I just think this is par for the course. I don't view it as a gross indictment on Willie Green. Like I said, I think everybody bad, honestly, at this point.
Ross, go ahead. I know you had some thoughts about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same thing over and over, right? It's not there's a point, and I get it. The personnel is not ideal right now, but like there's a time. There's a time and a place for the whole like, hey, rah stuff. Like we've got to play harder and all this stuff. But that's all he can ever go to. Like that can't be the answer for everything. Like at a certain point, you have to be better at basketball. We've got to draw up better plays. We've got to strategize better. We've got to utilize timeouts better. We've got to utilize personnel better. It's not just about, and I get that was the question. The question was something about, are you satisfied with the way the players are they giving and get their all, or whatever the question was. And they are. But that's not enough. Like you're in year 3+, and it's still just the same play with force where we're playing really hard. Like, no, you're not going to win more games than not. Like you quite literally are not winning more games than you're losing right now. And the problem is like we are so myself included, right? Like we're critical of the roster right now because it's in a horrible state. At the same time, it's like the outcome of these games is, in my opinion, in a lot of ways, is back on Willie Green, right? Like, because I can't just say the personnel's terrible when against the Nets that personnel was up at halftime, against the Lakers that personnel was up at halftime, against the Cavs you were tied, against the Trailblazers you were up at halftime, against the Hawks you were up at halftime. That's the personnel. I mean, it's the same people were saying suck. They won 2 fucking quarters, and so it's like. You can't just tell me that they're like, oh, keep doing. If we keep going down the same path, all this is the same path. The path has not changed. There's currently different players in the lineup, but it's the same results because your process stinks and you're not a very good coach. And I think that's my problem is that it's just this same rah middle school shit. Play as hard as you can. Like that's not. Yes, it's the NBA. You have to play hard to win games for the most part. Like, but Five said it earlier. Like the other team wants to win too. Like the other team
definitely wants to win.
The other team is also playing with a lot of energy and stuff. Like there's more to this shit than that.
Yeah, we'll go Jared then lead up.
What did I text you?
You texted high school-ish.
No, junior high.
Junior high-ish.
Yeah, like that's what it looks like. That's what it feels like. Play with more effort, then you'll beat the other team if you just fight harder. Like. It's just not a movie.
It's the NBA.
It's the NBA. Like these other guys who are skilled individuals want to win the basketball game. What are you doing strategically to win the basketball game? The greatest minds in history are usually generals, right? Because they can strategically plan what the opposition will want to do and the adjustments they will make. Ross brought up you were leading a lot of games at halftime, and then you lost them because you couldn't adjust or even predict what the other team was going to adjust to. Against the Lakers, you were up 10 at halftime. You lost that lead in 2 minutes. That's on you as a coach. When are you going to get better? Not the players. And to Chad's points earlier, he talked about the IQ of the team. That's on the coach and the staff to increase the IQ of the basketball team. He has yet to do that in 4 years. We're waiting on a miracle that's not happening.
Well said, Lito.
This is not what I'm saying. Is not a indictment of Ross's statement. It's kind of to piggyback off what Five just said. Like, it's been 4 years. To finish off what I was saying, it's been 4 years. What about this process has made you think? No, talking to nobody in general. What about this process has made you think that there's a better coach hiding somewhere in that Christian man? Like, where do you think there is another level? We talk about superstardom. We talk about players getting to another level, becoming better, doing the work in the summer, right? Where have you seen that in the coach? Like, the thing is, like, Willie Green is bad. He's bad. Like not Michael Jackson bad, because that's like a classic album bad. I'm talking like just bad. Justin, would you give somebody with a gambling habit $1 million?
No, you wouldn't.
Would you give somebody who's struggling with their diet a pack of sugar? Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do if you have the talent, if you don't know what to do with the talent.
There was and you're absolutely all y'all are spot on. There was a moment I caught this in the fourth quarter. I don't know if anyone did. It's late, so there's 28 seconds left. And I tried clipping it up today, but on the replay, it lagged, of course, so I couldn't get the actual clip. There's a point where LeBron's walking up the court and Willie Green is so confused on what to do. He does this hand gesture, then Borrego stands up, then Collins stands up, then the other assistant stands up, and they all start screaming. He has no trust in himself to where he's always like, he's looking over like, hey, what do we do here? At what point are you going to take like responsibility? At what point are you going to call it time? At what point are you going to call this? Like, those are my issues with Willie Green, is that he doesn't instill confidence in him. Like, I don't think he has confidence in himself. So he's always looking down the staff like, what do I do here? Challenge-wise, the challenge last night was horrible. It was horrible. And I know coaches look at they have a guy on the iPad looking, but at the end of the day, like, that was a bad challenge. Another bad challenge with Willie Green. And he doesn't take timeouts, and he doesn't motivate very well right now. And he's not a good X's and O's guy. So Lito, and like, by the way, his defense has been bad. It's been bad, especially with Herb Jones out. So what does he do well? Can anybody answer me that question?
I think, this puts me at a fork in the road, because a proverbial fork in the road, because it is getting to the point with Willie Green where it's like, well, why do you make me hit you? It's getting to that point because it's certain things you can't separate Willie Green from. And Willie Green isn't always acting on his own accord. So that being the case, it's like, the bottom line is he shouldn't be here. Well, what up, Corey? Like, the bottom line is that he shouldn't be here. That's really what it boils down to. Like, but being honest, it's like, dude, you were never supposed to be here in the first place. I can't get mad at Willie Green for anything at this point. He just should have never been here. And that's an entirely different conversation to have. But that conversation is a little, it's like, well, fuck. What do you do?
The same reason he's chosen and he is here is what I would be my answer to your question, Justin. Like, what is the one thing he does well? The one thing he does well is be subservient to Griff. Like, he doesn't. Like, he's probably not pushing back. He's not asking questions. He's not being deliberate in terms of his actions and what he might want to. I don't know. Maybe he has no personality. I don't know the man personally, but the best thing, in my opinion, he does well is be a pushover, is be a yes man. Like, exactly. That's all he's done. Like, what else has he done? He's not a good X's and O's coach. He's not a good basketball coach. Like, I mean,
he doesn't win the press conference ever.
No, it seems like he has no clue what he's doing when he gets up there.
doctor's orders. I mean, just screams like.
Hey, Justin,
he's been put in some tough situations. I'm being kind of an asshole, but like,
no, Justin, no. You can always speak up for yourself, right? Like, I think that's the point Ross is making. Like, you could speak up. Like, I'm not about to, Justin. If we were co-workers in the same like practice or some shit, and I did some foul shit to you, and I cost you your job, you just not gonna say nothing. Like, you go home to your family and look them in the face and be like, nah, it's cool. Like, I didn't want that job anyway. I think hold on, before you answer that, the problem is Griff. I think Griff gave Willie the job because he wanted to employ somebody he could control.
Yeah,
he talks for Willie.
I couldn't control Stan Van Gundy. That's why he got the quick hook.
He talks for Willie. He answers for Willie. He gives Willie the answers to the tests. What is the question though? Willie doesn't even know, right? It's possible that Willie Green is handicapped as a head coach, and he may be a lot better. Hold on, he may be a lot better than we know. But guess what? We're never gonna find out. He's not. But we're never going to find out. He can't even talk to his own players because the medical staff will send him home before he can even get answers. You heard about what happened with Jacques Vaughn during the interview. Griff tried to sell Jacques Vaughn on a Kyra Lewis backcourt. And Jacques Vaughn was like, nah, fam, I'm good. Don't worry about it. You can just keep that job. I don't even want to be a head coach.
Like, what do you think Griff's controlling of Willie, though? Like, what do you think Griff actually controls? Like with Willie Green, y'all say like he's a yes man, he's a pushover, whatever. Like, what do you think? What do you think Griff's controlling? He's definitely not controlling the lineup.
I think he influences Willie Green to kind of give young players more of a chance. Like, you kind of see some of those things happen. Like, yo, you gotta, like last season, it was like, yo, no, you need to be playing Jordan Hawkins, brother. Or no, you need to be playing Jackson Hayes. Like, Jackson Hayes has to play. Like, there was a couple instances with that. But man, I don't even. It's like a major pink elephant in this room eating a slice of that motherfucking Theo's pizza, and it's like, bro, at the end of the day, Willie Green is here because Brandon, like that's what it is. To me, it ain't got nothing to do with Stan Van Gundy not being controllable. He was here one fucking season. Like, we don't even know. He wasn't like a madman pulling his dick out or nothing. He was here one season during the COVID year. We don't know if he was controllable or not. Like, we don't know if he was. We don't know anything about him, really. Like, we just know that certain players didn't like him, and it's like, look. All right, James Borrego is here. Casey Hill's still here, right? We've heard about, we saw Brandon pull the clipboard out of Casey Hill's hand and draw up his own play. That happened. Like, it happened. It's on film, right? We've heard a bunch of shit about Brandon not particularly wanting to play fast with James Borrego's system. Like, it happened. Like, we've heard Brandon say, yo, we getting by on talent alone here. That happened. That happened. So it's like, at a certain point, you the one mad with all the coaches, brother. Like, your man's here is here because of you. So now it's like, I don't think Willie Green's good at all, but I don't know if, like Toledo's point, I don't know if it's like so much Griff manipulating him or controlling him, and it's like this butterfly waiting to come out of the cocoon. I feel like you're gonna have the same issues no matter what happens due to the personnel. That's just how I feel, because I haven't seen anything otherwise, really. Like, I've never seen Brandon play this way outside of a contract year. I have 2 contract years to go by, and I have multiple other years to go by where it wasn't a contract year. Right, I've just never seen him play a different kind of way, and that's like, it is what it is at a certain point.
Yeah, Ross, go ahead.
I think I go back to some of just the, like, I don't want to say non-basketball stuff, but no one. I think it's a lot of it is that, like, Willie Green is just not told things. Right, like that's I guess what I mean. Like, you can control someone by keeping them in the dark on everything, where it's like you're not even a part of the process for what's happening, And I think that's part of it. And I think the other part of it is like, Willie, he like that dude knows he's not getting a head coaching job after this. Griff knows that Willie is not getting a head coaching job after this. I think Griff is a control freak. And I think he wants to be in charge. He wants to control the narrative. He wants to tell you when and what you can say and what the details are. Think about the Zion shit. You're the head coach and you ain't never said one thing. I don't know where he's at. I hadn't seen him. Hadn't been in practice. Like any of that. Like imagine being a head coach and not ever addressing any of that.
What was wrong with Zion or when Zion pulled himself out of the game, he didn't know what was wrong.
You don't think that's been sent? You don't think that's been dictated from above? Like, hey, you don't say shit about this.
Nah, that I think most teams do that, but I'm speaking more so like just for as the on the court product. Like to me, I would wonder if, like, do you even care? Does your control go to? I want control. Even if it leads to me not winning, because that's my real question. You got Willie Green, Kenny Atkinson come from the same system, studied under some of the same coaches, same programs. Steve Kerr, Mike D'Antoni, pretty much coaching tree, and that they couldn't be any more different, right? So to me, and Kenny Atkinson was an option. Like at one point, Charles Lee was an option. Again, Willie Green is the fourth choice. It was Stan Van Gundy, Ty Lue, Charles Lee, Jacques Vaughn, and now you finally settle on Willie Green. I have to wonder if you're doing it, but like the reason you're doing it don't have anything to do with basketball. Like that's my question now is like, do you even care about winning necessarily? Or do you like, it don't matter who the coach is. I'm going to just put so much talent on the floor. The talent is going to figure it out. And like that's really the point I'm getting to. Like with watching this team, I don't even think you care anymore.
I think that's malpractice, right? To put, it's like having all the ingredients for gumbo and not a good chef to cook it.
Not a recipe.
Finding someone from Iowa to cook the gumbo, like they're not gonna know what to do. Willie Green just doesn't know what to do, even if he didn't have the talent. Right? Like it's easy to get guys that don't know when their next paycheck is going to come from to play hard because it's an easy thing to figure out. Hey, bro, just play hard. Because that's something you've done since you were a kid. Just play hard, cut, screen, try to figure it out, make a shot. Like whatever, you have the freedom to do. And the freedom is one of the things that I actually get mad at because some of these guys shouldn't have the freedom that they have. But you don't have a system or protocols or a baseline in place that, allows guys to play in a system. Yep. You don't really have a system. You're like, oh, just play free, play fun, play fast. All them F words are just F words. You're fucking failing.
Ain't the great.
And Jarrett, you make a great point before I get to Ross's point here. Because Jarrett, we talk about accountability. I think it's the main problem in this organization's accountability. Speaking of accountability, Chaz, you can't say what you said earlier, and so we got to play the clip.
We ain't no motherfucking freaks. We some family men. We getting it paper. You know what I'm talking about?
Can't say that.
What did he say? Man, Gundy thing?
whip out his dick?
Oh,
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Of course, Lito doesn't say a fucking word. Unbelievable. Go ahead, Rob.
I don't remember exactly where I was going to go, but
accountability.
It's all of it. It's like I know what you're saying, and I agree with you, Chaz, that it's not like only blaming Willie Green is unfair. Like this year is a great example. I truly believe that they were setting Willie Green up to fail, even if they had been healthy.
We had talked about
it. Like
we talked.
I'm not putting a center on the rock. Like I truly believe that was I'm gonna let you fuck this up. And then then move to something else. But I could be wrong on that because I don't think because I do think you're right in a certain sense of like that Griff thinks he's so much smarter than everybody else that he's going to put all this talent and like that's just going to figure itself out. I don't think somebody with that mindset goes in and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that," but we got Daniel Tice running 5. They don't. Those people don't operate that way. And so for me, it does all ultimately roll back up to Griff, but I just can't let Willie Green off the hook because he's still the one just like fumbling through every game situation. Like there is a basketball component to that he just consistently fails at.
Go ahead.
My bad, five.
No, to Ross's point, like we always talk about like what player has gotten better year after year. Willie Green just hasn't gotten better year after year.
That's another thing. He just hasn't gotten better.
Not progressively worse, if anything.
That's what I'm saying. So what's the point of continuing on with this process with a guy that's running the process isn't doing well either? Like they both need to break up.
When you have his replacement sitting on the bench.
Well,
Purposely.
That leads to the next question. It goes from
Hey man, don't mess up the chair. God damn, Ross.
That's my fault.
Calm down.
BTU baby 92. So what coach would y'all want to take over?
Yeah, I feel like Ross rerun it, run it back. Shoot.
When you've got the replacement sitting on the bench. Borrego, it's a
I think it's a
no-brainer.
Jaron Collins.
No, it's
What? Excuse me. Hold on, Ross. Wait, Ross. No,
Get this man.
because we gotta be accountable for that.
What?
That's crazy.
What could you possibly play?
It's not a pause moment, but the fact that was just that you just said that name.
You know what? Here's the moment. This is the moment. This is the moment. That's the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
It's time. It really is. You've seen enough, and I think there are. It's not a situation sometimes where the assistants are the same. And some coaches hire people that are similar, right? Like where it's like, even if we fire the head coach X, like offensive coordinator Y or whatever, assistant coach Y is like kind of the same shit. In this case, Borrego is much different. And I think it's a positive difference from what they can do on the offensive side of the basketball and controlling that piece of it, that it gives you an interesting option. And what better time than now when you could actually evaluate it?
To Ross's point, if you insert James Borrego pause into like the head coaching ranks, right? At least, like even if you're thinking about tanking or whatever, at least it will give you an opportunity to build some guys' stock in an offense. Right? Like, hey, they can play in this style, which is conducive to winning. If I've seen him build a Devontae Graham into a player that can get paid, I'm sure he can build the value of some guys on my roster to get them, at least their value high enough for me to move and get something else in return. Like this just seems like a better option.
Hold on, 5. Stay right there. Go ahead and answer this question while you're talking.
All right, bro. Do you realize what that team was? Have you looked at that roster? Have you seen the off the court and who was the owner at the time? Like Jordan might have been one of the worst owners we had ever seen, GMs we had ever seen at the time.
You want to talk about improvement, by the way? Borrego improved
year after year.
Win-loss record every single year, and then also had like
top
the 9th
10
most efficient offense, like ATO percentage, et cetera. Like was top in the top 5, top 10 in the league as well.
Top 10 or top 5 in 3-point percentage.
He got Devontae Graham paid.
Yeah.
How much better has Charlotte got since they fired him?
Like no, bro. BTU baby 92, bro. I you need to go back and look. Go back and see. Yeah, because
Grub. That's it right there. Borrego had his players playing above their
and that's exactly what you would want.
And that's what a good coach does right there.
Yeah. You have guys playing above what their talent tells you they can do. And hopefully, it's consistent enough to, for you to extract some value out of them.
They were ranked 8th in the NBA that season, his offense, that is. The thing is the defense is trash, right? Like the defense was bad. If you look at who was on that team, respectfully,
Devontae Graham, Gordon Hayward, Bridges, LaMelo was a rookie, Cody Zeller.
So not one defender.
Gordon Hayward,
Biombo.
But think about this. Think about what Lito's saying though. right? Like, well, Willie Green is touted as a defensive mind, right? But his defense is like bottom. It might be 30th in the NBA.
I'm so interested what it would look like without Herb Jones.
This is what it would look like.
Interested.
So if Herb isn't there, I mean, hell, the players last year when they were saying like, oh, they asked Jonas, you guys have been top, 6 in defensive efficiency year after year. Who do you credit that to? His first name was Herb. It was Herb. Yep. It ain't got nothing to do with fucking Willie. Well, who has Willie made better defensively? Tell me, please tell me. It wasn't Dyson. Dyson was already good defensively. Herb was already good defensively. Has Brandon been better defensively because of Willie?
Nope.
No. Has Zion been better because of Willie? No.
Trey?
No. Anybody else? No. Your mama? No. Your daddy? No.
So back to go ahead, Lito. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think Grub. Shout out to Grub, man. OG always got the right answers. He used the word floor raiser. Huh?
I know I miss my dog Grub, bro. We used to talk about basketball throughout the entire game, but since we got kicked out, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
We all
technically.
I physically got removed. But
Justin really actually they did Justin like uncle.
You know what, Jared? There might be one day where it all just comes back, and there's gonna be an Ari Gold moment. I'm gonna fucking walk into the building, and I'll just leave it at that. Go ahead, Lito.
Willie Green treated my dog Justin like Jazz on the Fresh Prince. Willie was Uncle Phil. Justin, my bad, but nah. So like Grub said, raising a ceiling or whatever, and man, for real, I think Cody Zeller, not Cody, the other Zeller, not Zeller. What the dude with the Plumlee? I think Plumlee was averaging like between 6 and 7 assists that year.
Yeah.
Like, I keep saying this. Go watch. Just YouTube it. James Borrego, Charlotte Hornets offense, and tell me how much different it looks to the offense that they're running right now. It's not even close. And people are like, "Are they running Borrego stuff?" Like, I can tell you for a fact they're not.
Hell no.
Because I forgot. I might have been talking about either Chaz or Lito. I forget. It's like, it's not like because you change teams, you don't bring the same offense. Like, you bring the same offense with you. Like, whether it's a different franchise, different high school, different college, whatever it may be, like, that's what you're built on. Like, you have these certain sets that you're very comfortable with, very comfortable teaching and understanding principles and so on and so forth. I have not seen, like, the James Borrego offense is predicated literally on playing through the big, the top of the floor, ball movement, slot cuts, slip cuts, all that stuff, angles, angle screen and roll, short roll,
back screens,
big corner, back screens,
yeah.
Spain pick and roll. I haven't seen a Spain pick and roll. I maybe a couple times with CJ, Trey, and Zion, maybe once.
And to be honest, bro, I go back to this time when I was in Dallas, and I'm like, bro, they figured it out. They finally have it, and it just went away. Oh, corner threes was a huge component of James.
The only people that shoot corner threes are Dyson Daniels and Herb Jones. Like, those are the only guys that shoot corner threes. Oh, you just go watch.
It's a good Justin answer this.
You want him in charge, but he's not strong enough to push for his offense. I mean, yeah, like Kyle, he's an assistant. Like, what do you? He's not the lead. Like, what's he going to push? He's not the lead guy.
You don't think he said anything? My bad, Chess. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Like, what's he going to say? Leave? Like, no, he needs a job. Like, he needs a job. Like,
but Willie, the head coach, and he ain't. Like,
well, my thing is, like, you can suggest all you want to a head coach, but at the end of the day, it is the head coach's final say. So you could be like, "Hey, I want to run this set," and Willie's like, "No, we're gonna run elbow." All right, what do you want Borrego to do there? What do you want him to do?
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Chad.
I just need to know who making the decisions and who's still gonna be here. To me, that's really all it boils down to, because if Griff making the decision, I don't think Griff deserved to make another decision, honestly. But if Griff making a decision, I don't want Griff making decisions for this team 2 years from now. And if he's not going to be the person making the decision, then a new person is going to want their own coach. So it's so many variables. Like, you only promote Borrego if you're trying to salvage the season and win, in my opinion, right? I don't necessarily think that's the right thing to do for a salvaging the season and trying to win. But it's just you. I need to know who gonna be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to do him a disservice.
Griff's gonna be here. Griff's gonna be here. I don't know. Like he's going to be here.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I just feel like
Gail don't want to deal with the headache. Like he's just gonna be here. It is what it is. Like I know.
Yeah,
like, I'm saying what you're wrong.
No, but what I'm saying is
he shouldn't be allowed to make that decision.
That, and I need to know, what are you looking to do? Like, what do you even want from Borrego if you're David Griffin? You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to win big, then you got to go get some talent. I think another reason Willie Green looks terrible is because you ain't got no stars. Like you ain't got no superstars. Like a superstar can erase a lot of sins for poor like Jason Kidd.
Hold up, stop, Chad. It's like you do have a superstar. You just don't literally fucking like you don't hold them accountable. Yeah, you do. Zion's a superstar. They just
what I'm saying is, Justin, if the motherfucker don't play, that means you don't have him.
No, exactly.
Like if he ain't on the court, you don't have him. Like, you know, when he plays, you do pretty good. When you don't play, it ain't nothing you can do. Like you know. But I think you would have to. You either got to build a roster that's like, shout out to Will Chill. You either have to build a roster that like
appreciate
what's the word I'm looking for? Accentuates like all of Borrego's positives, or you just tear the whole thing down and let him usher in a new era. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't play the middle. And that's the thing that's gonna annoy me. Because if you just, all right, let's see what Borrego can do with this roster. And it's like, this is not a good collection of players. Like this unit don't work. Like, you know, this is not a good unit of players here. You got a lot of decisions to be made. I just don't see the reason in sabotaging another coach. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna give another coach some shit that don't work, and when it don't work out, you're gonna blame him. Now we're gonna have another coach, and then we're gonna have, like, it's just, you know, I just have a clean break with whatever you do.
I was gonna bring this comment. Did you have some?
Yeah, just to push back on Chad's point a little bit. I think you do need a new change in head voice, and it's cool that he's already in the building, so you already have somewhat of a relationship with him. I think Willie dilutes your value of the players that you want to trade. You have to try to build that value back. And I think James could at least do that, because Willie cannot. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, even in your main guy, it's just not going to happen. So maybe if you put them in an offense that looks like an offense against the other NBA teams, maybe you don't win, right? Maybe that just doesn't happen and you still tank eventually. Either that doesn't even guarantee you like a top pick anyway, but at least you can try to build some value in the players that you already have. Yep. If you think about potentially moving them up,
like I think of Trey Murphy. Like, Ross, do you think Trey Murphy likes playing for Willie Green?
Hell,
no. Do you think he like playing for James Borrego?
He might. Yeah, and that for me is the difference. That's where I would push back on. Like, I think what Chaz is saying is, whether you think Borrego is the right person to lead the next wave or not, we can all agree that Willie Green is definitely not that person, right? And it's just, I've seen enough. You know, like, it was like the Saints thing. Like, you have to make a change, because you know that what you are doing now it hasn't worked, it isn't working, and it won't work in the future. And so that's where I'm at, is you have a good option. Just go ahead and make that change and just see what it looks like. Like, it doesn't cost you anything. Willie Green's the cheapest head coach in the NBA. It doesn't cost you anything.
We wouldn't know that. This is the comment. Like, I appreciate your comment, but no, I'm not saying that Trey has say, but you just invested a lot of fucking money into him. So he's going to have No, he does.
He does have say.
Yeah, he definitely got some say. No. He definitely got
I don't know if he has say today. I don't know. Well, hold up. I don't know if he has say today, but I'm just starting to say, like, they just invested how much money in him? 150, 160 million dollars.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. Like,
he got
like, you have more say. Like, Trey will probably have more say than Herb, have more say than Jose, have more say than Jordan Hawkins, have more say than Daniel Tice. He's probably the third person on the roster that has like the most say.
If you keep it a beat,
you depend on Zion. You don't have a guy to depend on Brandon. And we've talked about this. Like, we all think his ceiling is very high. So, like, yeah.
They gave say to Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Like, are we forgetting that part?
Jose has say.
But that goes back to the accountability thing. And this is where it drove me insane. I'll never forget the 2-for-1 with Jose. Like, it was last year when he did the KTSC thing. It was that right then and there, you kind of knew. You just kind of knew, like, whoa, why do you have the ultimate green light? Like, is no one going to, like, hold you account? Like, it was just a bad shot. And instead of, like, correcting it right then and there, it just kept going because Willie Green doesn't handle those type of situations very well.
Well, maybe because he doesn't know.
No, I'm not blaming Jose.
No, they just should have did this in the beginning, bro, because it just seemed like it's like you have to do it now so you could, because there's a lot of time left and you may get some players back. But this would have been such a better decision starting off the season with a new head coach or a coach with some with a real say so, with some real say in the offense, because again, it's like I take over, you got a new system, the people come back, you got to implement them into the system. Then you got to remove, you may be removing one or two major pieces from the system. Then you got to re-implement the new pieces into the system. And then it's like, well, fuck, did he really get a fair chance to do his thing? Are you going to blame him if shit don't go right? Or what if it go good, but not good enough? Like, it's so many variables that could have been avoided had you just handled your business this offseason and ripped the Band-Aid off and made the difficult decision. If you were David Griffin or whoever makes that decision, you could have just made the difficult decision and you could have started off with a clean slate. Now we still got all of the same questions we had before.
Yep. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. First and foremost, we're about an hour in. Thanks for running here. Make sure you smash the like button, helps out the channel. We gotta take about a minute and a half break. We're here from DraftKings, but we've started a bunch of comments. We'll get to all the super chats. Appreciate all the new members. We're gonna hear from DraftKings, so about a minute and a half break, and then we will talk expectations of the front office. We're gonna talk Zion. We got a Jake Fisher video we're gonna play as well. So let's hear it from DraftKings. We'll be back shortly here, about a minute and 40 seconds.
The NBA is finally back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's draining threes from behind the arc? Who's crashing the boards and grabbing rebounds? Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings Sportsbook, the home of the NBA player props. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking your team to win. Go to DraftKings Sportsbook app and place your bet. First time? New DraftKings customers bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Take it to the rack with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BOOT. That's code BOOT, B-O-O-T, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/BBALL.
I keep getting these.
Shout out to you, Five. Appreciate everybody in here. All right, let's talk expectations. So Ross, start with you since you kind of missed the whole week. Obviously we're in New York.
Damn.
I wasn't even a shot. That came off.
That came off like a shot.
That's crazy. What does Lito say? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It says the most disrespectful thing.
How you gonna blame that on Lito?
Oh yeah, I blame everything on Lito. Fuck that guy. Ross, give me what are your what do you believe expectations are from the front office and ownership? Do you believe that they actually have the best interest in winning basketball games, or is it more about the bottom line?
You're saying like going into the year, or
just in general? Because Chaz brings up a great point and another talking point. Like, we still have to get out of the tax because this team doesn't want to pay the tax.
Yeah, no. I think it's definitely bottom line driven. I don't think they've made like championship level moves. Like, you've still got Willie Green as the head coach. There's been a total unwillingness to move off of these first round picks over the years. Like, I don't think this is not it's funny you said, I was in New York all week and you talk to people that live up there, Knicks fans, like, there's expectations. They want to win now. They are not like, you made all these trades in the offseason and they're pissed off now because they're 500 or something, or like a game over, whatever it is. They want to win today, not next year. They want wins now.
What about Brooklyn? What was the vibe out there?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit about the Nets. I went to a Nets game while I was up there. That's just having a team to have a team, for as far as I could tell. Not a lot of like energy in the building. Nets are a different thing, but the Knicks are it's a more passionate fan base. They're more connected to the team. They pay closer attention. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I've had the opinion, I think, for a little while that they want, like, no news is good news for the Pelicans as far as like upper management, at least the way I see it. I think they want to make sure that the season ticket sales look good. I think they want to keep shit out of the media as much as humanly possible.
Or
control it as best they can. and I think they want to be, we talked about this last year. I think they want to be good enough to be like somewhat relevant, but this is not a like win or die trying situation. This is a keep bringing in money, keep being able to sell. Like, oh, next year we're going to be, next year is going to be the year. This next year, just keep coming on back for next year. And I think that for me is the perspective of this is more bottom line driven than it is hanging banners driven.
Yeah, because there are actually no banners in the Smoothie King Center. Chaz, you got anything? Or did you say?
Yeah, I agree with Ross. I think that's why so many of the options, even with some of the things we discussed in earlier segments, it's just patching leaks in the ship. It's patching leaks. You get an interim coach, you're patching the leak. If you don't have a high roster turnover, you're just patching the leak. Like, you need major roster front office philosophical turnover to really like usher in a new change. That's why it don't matter damn near who the Celtics coach is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because they have a clear mission and they have a clear mandate. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter. There's several teams that kind of just like, damn, they always kind of just figure out how to get, even if they're like at the bottom of the standings, like as far as in the playoffs, they always manage to get there, and they get there. They massively over deliver, under promise and over deliver. So I don't think this organization has any mandate. Look, New Orleans is a place you go to retire. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like, with these people, they making money hands over fists. You know what I'm saying? They're not really tripping, and it's reflected in the players. It's reflected in the media. It's reflected in everything. You know, it's just a laziness.
Chaz, and you bring up a great point. That's what drives me so insane when everyone's okay, like just make an excuse for Willie. Oh, he's got injuries, or he's got this, or he's got G League guys. Or no, did you win or lose the game?
Yeah.
Did you win or lose the game? And everyone, like, we've gotten like to this franchise, and I keep saying it's like a diehard LSU fan, graduated, a diehard Red Sox fan, been, I've seen them win 4 World Series in my lifetime, which I'm lucky enough to say. I know what it takes. Like, you got to trade. Like, I keep going back to this analogy. Like, they traded Nomar Garciaparra, 2004 heartbreak. It was I was watching the documentary. I think Chris kind of even watched documentary.
I watched.
Yeah, fantastic documentary. Probably one of the hardest decisions Theo Epstein, the general manager at the time, had to make. But he knew they had to get better. He knew they had to make tough decisions in order to get a championship. And guess what? got him a fucking championship.
Was it
Had
really
a-
that hard? You want to talk about it?
I mean, maybe at a different time. It was the right move for sure, but it's still hard.
I mean, bro, the Raptors traded DeMar DeRozan for a dude they didn't even know was going to play. Not that they didn't know he was going to play in the future. They didn't know he was going to play that season. Like they was like he might play in the playoffs.
The Nuggets turned around. They went and got Aaron Gordon.
Just
Changed the whole
Drew
thing.
Holiday. I mean, this happens all the time. The people that want
Yeah, it happens all the time.
They do shit that leads to winning. I mean, Justin, just like we can reflect on personal experience here.
Yeah.
How many times did we have arguments in the offseason, the end of last year, after we had lost the thing, and we were told we won 49 games?
Oh, like
How many times
Are you talking
was
about-
that the sales pitch of like, what are you bitching about? We won 49 games this year. You were the 8th seed.
were you the 8th seed or the 9th seed?
Whatever.
Okay.
And you lost in the, you got fucking skunked in the first round of the playoffs.
You didn't get past what 90?
2 points.
Like I don't, so that to me should have told, I mean, it did tell me everything I needed to know. They are about keeping this thing afloat, not about taking the boat past everybody else. Just keep it above water.
So how do you get to that next level then? Before we get to that?
Before we get to that, you said it's about winning, right? It's in theory, yes, it's about winning, but the product and the process has to look like winning.
Yes.
It can't be just we won 42 games, because then you'll have people say, hey, we won 40-some games last season. Why are you talking? Why are you complaining about it? When I know for a fact you probably shouldn't have won those games. You probably could have won more, but you aren't good enough. So like that part of it is like you got to take a step back and look at it from a bird's eye view. Like, this team isn't as good as the record tells you that it is.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, this coach isn't as good as the records tell
So I
you.
guess leads to my next point, Lito. Like, should fans want more? Should fans want more? Should they be okay with it? Because I see a lot of mixed takes, especially on Twitter, Instagram, so on and so forth. Like, some people are okay with this, some people are not. Should fans have more expectations of this franchise? I think it's an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, you should. I mean, in life, you should want to be on the side of things that are good, unless you're a loser. And then if you're a loser, I guess you're okay with this. I can understand if in this situation,
victories. I can't stand moral victories.
I can understand if this was like a young team. Like the whole process was very new. It was young, and you have to have patience at that point. But I mean, you got some shit that's been happening for a while here, or hasn't been happening. I think you should want the truth from your basketball team. I think you should demand the media expect and ask questions that provide the truth. And I think truthfully, the players, from the players, you should want them to just do what their contract says, or what the money in their contract says it does, or who they are. You want them to be who you expect them, who you think they are. Who, you told me you were on the Vengeance tour. You told me this. You told me all these things. B.I. told me, let him do it, and then he ain't really. The first game against him, he ain't really, do what he was supposed to do shot-wise, attempt-wise, in my opinion. So, I mean, you should want more, but if you're okay with this, then, I mean, there are a lot of losers, Justin. I don't know if you know that. Like, people are just walking around habitually being a loser. So, I mean, if they're not okay with that, then that's fine too. You know what I'm saying? Some people just never won in life.
Yeah, it goes back to that comment when the guy was like, y'all are hard on Zion. And I'm like,
yeah, he was a loser.
Could you imagine Zion in any other market? Like Chicago, Miami, New York, Boston, Los Angeles, even Sacramento. Like, he wouldn't.
What has he done for us to go easy on it?
I was thinking, yeah. To be real, like, I'm gonna try to say it nicely. It's not a fan's job to be objective and consider everything. Fans, for the most part, are just like we just regular people. We live, we die. It don't matter what happens if the team win. We're gonna be there. We're fans. It's just about where your parents decide to fuck at. Like, you know what I'm saying? Your parents could decide to fuck anywhere. Last night, there was a bunch of Lakers fans. I'm sure all those parents didn't fuck in LA. I'm sure all those people from LA didn't travel to New Orleans. No, them people from Canada, from the West Bank, they from the city. They always been around from Slidell. You know what I'm saying? Fans, they don't mean anything. The fact of the matter is you don't have no A-plus players on the team. Ain't no superstars on the team. You got a bunch of C-pluses. The best player on your team is maybe a B-plus when he plays, which is not often. Like, you don't have no talent on the team, really. These dudes is a bunch of, even the players who I like on the team, I'm not, inspired by them coming back. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, oh, boy, it's going to be a new motherfucking day when Jordan Hawkins come back. Like, nah, I don't look at it like that. Like, nah, this ain't Joel Embiid coming back or nothing like that. These just guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got guys right now. You don't have that player. You don't have that person who changes the dynamic, because when a team is failing a great player, then the fans become more objective. When a team is failing a great coach, then the fans care more. Like with Giannis, with Dame, with even LeBron, people like Steph. Like when teams are failing greatness, then people want to hold these people accountable. But since the Pelicans ain't got no greatness in the building, then it's like you can't really. The fans kind of everybody's kind of just whatever. Ultimately,
I got to address the fucking comment. I got to address this comment because it's people like this. First off, I'm sorry you hate New Orleans. Go fuck yourself. But when you say that Brandon Ingram is better than Jason Tatum,
come on, man. Come on, man.
This is insane to say.
Come on, man.
Insane to say.
Bro, see,
bro, that's a loser.
This is the crazy part. This is the crazy part. And I mean, I'm trying to be on my best behavior on this show, dog. Brandon not head and shoulders better at this stage than Cam Thomas. And I'm talking about clearly better. It's I don't know. Cam Thomas making $5 million. I don't know. Motherfuckers scoring 40, 50 points. I don't know. It's one of those things. That's why I said at best, your best player is a B+. Brandon, dog, Zion is extremely limited right now. And you got Willie Green. He's head and shoulders better than Brandon Ingram. That's the problem. For all of his shortcomings, he's head and shoulders better than your second best player. You literally could not trade him. You literally have not been able to trade this man. He's literally looking at potentially being a mid-level exception player under this new CBA. That's the reality of the situation. It's fucked up. Does he deserve better? Probably. Probably. It's unfair, what happened with the contracts. But look, this is the way the motherfucking cookie crumbles. The way the cookie crumbles. It is what it is.
That's ridiculous. It's just, that's the untrained eye that says something like that.
Son, this man said Jason Tatum. Dog, that is Jason, the dude who just won Lito. They talking about the dude who just won the ring.
that dude. The weed.
That's obscene. That's just oh my God. This is brother. Yeah. Brother. What's the next segment?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the next segment?
Chaz. You my dog. He better than Cam Thomas.
I'm saying no. What I mean is like, is he $35 million or $30 million better?
He might be $25 million better than Cam Thomas, in my opinion. That's just me. That's me. But listen. I understand where you're going with, but I don't live in NOLA. I live in New Orleans. That's a different place. I don't know what the fuck that dude talking about. No, Brandon is not better than Jason Tatum. He's just not.
Jason Tatum.
Come on now. Dog.
Let's just we just got to be better. All around, just got to be better. So I guess we'll start here back with Chaz. So Jake Fisher had this to say about Zion Williamson. When did he drop this, Chaz? Was it today?
Shout out to Bleacher Report. It was on Bleacher Report maybe day before yesterday. He was speaking about Zion and Brandon.
Yeah, well, it's I just clipped it about Zion, but let's hear what Jake Fisher has to say about Zion.
They've asked me the last couple of weeks, like, Zion trade, ? I have no indication that we're anywhere close to that right now. I think what this circumstance, has kind of cast for rival teams evaluating the Pelicans, scouts on the road evaluating the Pelicans, this is a real just sample size to continue to evaluate Brandon Ingram, who was absolutely on.
So he then goes on and talks about Brandon Ingram, and about evaluating Brandon Ingram. Lito, I guess we'll start with you first, and we'll go Lito then Ross. Do you think the Pelicans should be exploring trade options for Zion Williamson right now?
They have already done that. They started doing that last summer.
I don't believe it.
Why?
I just don't believe it.
I'm saying you feel like they could. From what we know, they've explored trade options with Brandon also.
You believe that too?
Have they paid him?
No.
I mean, what is the other alternative? You just go let both of them walk? Like,
I don't know.
I'm saying I think that. Do I think it's yes? I think it is time. I thought last year was time. To be honest, for one of them, it was time last year. I definitely think I've said this. I'm out. I'm out on Zion personally. Like it's nothing. Like he go come back from wherever hole Aaron Rodgers goes at the end of the football season and sleeps in a cave. Like that's probably where Zion at right now. And he's gonna play great. He's gonna be incredible. He's gonna look unstoppable. And then what's gonna happen? You know what's gonna happen. Like I hate to. I'm not trying to be a gloomy, but I've seen this story before. I read the book. I don't like it. They shouldn't make a movie out of it. I don't like it. Just keep it as a book.
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah, like what evidence do you have that tells you they should not be looking to evaluate trades for him? I mean, you're in year 6. He's missed more games than he's played across those 6 years. He's out right now for the foreseeable future. Last year he played
70 games
and he was not an all-star. So basically his healthiest year, played 70 games. He was not viewed as one of the top tier players in the NBA. He's never played in a playoff game. And I'm just on the court. We hadn't gone off the court yet. This is just on court. These are facts. These are not my opinions. These are facts. What do you have to go on? What are you basing it on? Is he the foundation for the future? How can you possibly feel good about saying yes to that? I mean, it's funny. Just I bet if we went back to that, almost our first year doing this show, whenever we drafted Zion, shortly after, I remember saying something along the lines of Zion's best years are going to be before he's 25. You got 7 years.
For sure.
And boy, was I wrong, because these first 6 hadn't been anything to be fucking happy about. To me, it feels like one of those things of, is there some small chance that he goes somewhere else and is really good? Yeah, maybe. But that's not even like Anthony Davis, you knew was going to hoop. because he was damn near winning MVPs here. So you knew that the ceiling was really high enough. I think we've probably seen the best of him. I do. I mean, have you ever, I can't think of a player that for the first 6 years of their career was like mostly injured, made a couple of all-star teams, one or two. And then, in year 7 or 8 went somewhere else and became this foundational centerpiece, stayed healthy all the time. It just doesn't really happen like that. I think you're doing yourself a disservice if this summer you're not looking for trades for him. And that doesn't mean you have a little bit of runway with Zion because he's still got 3 more years fully guaranteed.
No, they're not fully guaranteed. Chaz, right?
No, he has to play. If he plays 41 games, they're like,
there's no option. There's no player option. There's no team option. Like whatever the number is, he's locked in for 3 more years on that contract. So you have a little bit of runway. Look, I hope he comes back later in the year, rehabs his value, and they find a way to move on this summer. I just don't. This just hasn't worked, man. It just isn't working.
To Cole's, point, right? He's talking about Steph, right? It took Steph a good minute for him to get his footing in the NBA. But I caution us to think like they have the same trajectory, right? Like Steph's progression was skill based. Zion's progression is health based. You don't get healthier as you get older, right? Like you're usually healthier when you're younger. To Ross's point, like the likelihood of Zion being healthier as he gets older isn't good. So if you're an organization, you have to take that step back and be like, all right, maybe we should look for trades for Zion because maybe, just maybe, best years his best is we've already seen it.
Gosh.
And that's fucked up.
Gosh.
No,
it is fucked up to realize it and just kind of have to say it out loud, but maybe, just maybe it is. I don't want it to be, but it's not really a me thing or a Propels Talk thing. It's a Zion thing. Like Zion did this. This wasn't, and if anybody kind of like looks at this like a medical staff, a Pelicans medical staff, look at last year. That lady, Amy Atmore, shout out to her. Like she got that team fairly healthy in year 1. They were a fairly healthy team in a unhealthy season for the NBA. But yet now it's like they don't know what they're doing. Like, no. There was a plan in place. There had to be because year 1 worked. I'm pretty sure she was just like, well, we're going to do what we did last year. And now it's a problem. I don't think that's on her and her staff. I think we need to start looking outward and be like, oh, maybe this might be on the players and not the staff.
And I'm glad you said. Go ahead, Lito.
No, go ahead.
I'm glad you said the thing about Steph Curry being his progression being skill based, Stein's being health based. Because if you go look, I mean, Steph came into the league at 21,
22, 21,
whatever it was, and he
young.
looked like a baby.
Yeah,
when he got in the NBA, like he looked. I mean, like I don't know how to say it, like a baby. Zion did not come in looking that way, and the difference in that was like I guess it took Steph a few years to get his footing, but I mean, by year 6 he won an MVP. And in year 5, he was
Jesus Christ.
Year 5, he was first or second team All NBA, and was like getting into that. And then I think year 6 he won an MVP. Year 7 he won an MVP. So like we're not there. That's my whole point. Is like those guys were the people that you might be able to point to that like took a little while to get their footing. They were doing this. Zion is not doing this. His career is not doing anything close to this. So that for me is the difference on why you have to move off of him now, because I think you're one more injury away from this shit being done.
Like, I think I'll go ahead, Lito. I'll go with you.
I think to Fav's point, man, I think the Pelicans told us, David Griffin told us that Amy Atmore was in Dallas for the majority of the summer working with Zion. So to say, whatever job they aren't doing, I think is a bit unfair, because I could come and show you the correct stretches, the correct way to eat, get you a dietitian and all that. But if you don't follow through with those things when I leave, what does it matter? it's like you trying to help somebody train their dog. You train their dog for him, and then when you leave, he just let the motherfucker sleep on the bed. Like that's not my fault. You know what I'm saying? You paid me money to do something. You got to follow up on your end. And the Zion thing, like, yeah, definitely you get better with skill, but like the thing is, like, it's not normal to be in the NBA 6 years and have not developed the thing like that. That's not a normal. That's not how basketball works. You come back every summer with a different tool in your toolkit. That's generally how it works. You see the progression. We talk about Jason Tatum. Like, you saw the progression year after year after year until you got to his MVP season. And like, not only from maybe like a physical perspective for him, but like the mentality from losing in the finals to knowing understood how that felt. I think I am my by 5. I'm a lens playing. I think that with Zion, like, I think he just doesn't have it. It being
I don't think he wants it. You know, I really don't think he likes basketball. I don't think he definitely don't like the process, but I don't think he loves basketball.
It was easy.
Yeah.
I don't think he loves it.
See, all right. I had this conversation with my girl the other day, and I was like, "Hey, bro, don't love me. Love is fickle, right? You can love something one day, and the next day you don't love it. Like be consistent with me. That shows me more than what love can show me.
Good and bad days.
Yeah,
Just be consistent.
Just be consistent with it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Zion is consistent with basketball.
Nope.
Like he doesn't want to. I don't, you know, that people always say stuff like this, but he doesn't want to die behind basketball. He don't want to live and die with it. Like, where every day I want to get better at this thing that I was gifted for. Right? Like, I just don't see it. Like, yeah, it's easy to play basketball when things are good. For sure. But do you want to play basketball when things are hard? That's when you know, like, that guy wants to be out there. He's going to try to figure out and go to the end of the world to try to make sure his team is better than the other team. You know, you just have those people where you can walk into a gym, doesn't matter who's on their fucking team. Like, bro,
Jimmy Butler's like a great example.
Yeah, man, just a winner. Just like, hey, I'm gonna figure it out. Chad,
I think I still go back to, bro, you got one player on this team that got a chance to be the best player on the floor at any given night with all of his limitations. He's been better than Ant multiple times. He's been better than Kevin Durant multiple times. I don't know how, but he's been better than Devin Booker multiple times. Been better than Jokic multiple times. You do what works. Well, you try everything until nothing works, and then you just move on. And that's really what it boils down to. To me, I always viewed this like a Joel Embiid situation. Like, yeah, because a team like Philadelphia, they don't give a fuck about no MVPs and getting eliminated in the Eastern Conference Final. They want a ring. And if he don't give them a ring, he's failed, like in their estimation. To me, I feel like if you trust whoever your next coach is, give the next coach a chance. That don't work, you move Zion. If it does work, then you move on and see how it goes. But ultimately, like, I again, dog, for as limited as this dude is, and he, to me, I don't think he's like a super skilled player whatsoever. But at the same time, he's better than every player you have. And he's better than any player you're going to get. And it's like, Justin, he's light years better than every player you have. He's light years better, Justin.
I am not disagreeing with you at all, bro.
Light years better. And this is the crazy part. This is why, and it could be mainly because of his athleticism. But dog, a dude that limited. To me, I thought about this earlier. I was like, well, fuck, how many good years have Brandon and Zion even had as Pelicans? If I try to add it all up, I would say they both sitting at about 2.5. like good years as far as like, well, I'm not mad at that season type shit. But I'm like, bruh, look at the last time you beat a good team. The last 2 positive games you've had. Look at last year when he was fat. Look again, the comparison is just, yeah, you can. I don't disagree. I think you should always be looking to get better. I'm just saying, like, realistically, it's like, dog, you got one player who has a chance to be as good or better than any other good player. And you might want to give it one last Hail Mary, unless you can get significantly better, then you trade him. But yeah, I just think it boils down to that.
We talk about, how we grade good, right? Like good is being consistent. Like, as you say, he has the opportunity. He has been better than all those people that you named, but he's only good for like 35 games a year at this rate. So what the fuck?
That's why I say, that's why I say, like, if you believe in whoever your coach about to be, if you believe, because like that's the voice that's gonna get to him, because that's why this organization is so fucking bad, bro. Because it's like, well, damn, I don't believe in the top down to do anything for anybody. I don't believe in Griff or Willie Green or Trajan. I don't believe in none of these players.
They don't know how to handle Zion. It is what it is. They fucked up since day.
No, but here's the thing. You can't handle anybody. That's the problem. If it was just him, it would make everything so much clearer.
You're right.
Like,
You're right.
Like you can't handle Jose Alvarado. You literally can't handle Jose. So
this has gone on wrong. We got to get to our next segment, and then we'll get to fan questions. But like, no one's wrong. No one's wrong. This was said over the weekend. We'll start off with Ross. Bill Simmons said this. They made it today.
Yeah.
New Orleans traded Dyson Daniels, and he immediately became a Kawhi Pippen hybrid.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on.
I know.
You know why
I
you know why I hate stuff like that?
Talk to him.
Because Dyson actually is playing really well.
Yep.
And has improved when he got out of here and has improved a lot. Especially, he was always great defensively. No one ever. I mean, what he's doing is unprecedented. But he's always been great defensively.
Yep.
There were times here when he would not take a shot. Like when he would not dribble the basketball, he was so afraid.
Yeah.
And so I think just looking at Dyson as how much he's improved, that's incredible. It's incredible. Why would you then take that and call this man a Kawhi Leonard, Scottie Pippen hybrid? Like, it just, to me, it's unfair to him. I mean, he's still shooting like 25% from 3. That doesn't look great. Like, I don't think he's ever going to be a guy, in my opinion, that scores 20 something points a night. But like this version of Dyson is turning into a pretty interesting player. So I don't know. Shit like that is just so dumb to me, because it's like, why would you why do that? Why make that? Like, that's just, to me, that's just clickbait.
To that, like, I don't understand Bill Simmons. I mean, I just think more so it's probably a hot take. I don't know if he's trying to throw a dig at, DeJounte in a sense, or the Pelicans organization. I don't fucking know. But Dyson, in my perspective, like, was almost out of the league to an extent. Like, he didn't look like an NBA player at times when he was in New Orleans. And thank God he turned it around. Like, I'm happy that he's progressing, because we thought the skill. Man, I remember having a conversation with Antonio Daniels. This was like one of those pregame, just sitting around talking like, "Hey, bro, like, what's this dude's his deal, right? Like, why isn't he effective on the offensive end? Like, he'll get a rebound defensively and be like, seems like 4 or 5 feet above the rim, and then offensively it just would go away, and it's just his confidence. And sometimes it's just the environment, right? Like, he just had to go to a different environment and be successful. And sometimes that shit just happens. That's like a plant, right? Like, some plants just can't survive in Louisiana. You got to put them in the Northeast and they'll be better. Like, I don't know specifically, but I'm pretty sure that shit happens. but that's just Dyson, right? Like he's just in a different environment and he's excelling.
Different
But-
role.
But just don't ever.
Totally different.
Why are we mentioning Kawhi and Scottie Pippen? Like
11 games in. Oh, like we're 11
This is
games
like-
into his new tenure.
He
in
immediately
Atlanta.
turned into that. That's what I'm saying. It's just a clickbait comment.
This the dumb part about the entire thing, like the whole logic of the conversation, the foundation of it. Dyson still isn't what you drafted him to be.
Right.
You drafted Dyson to be the starting point guard of your future. He's not that. That's not who he is. Dyson is excelling as a low usage defense first guard right now. That's what Dyson is. That's what he has grown to be. And he's found a niche with a team with a great coach in Quinn Snyder that doesn't have any expectations. That's really like tonight. Dyson was awful, but it's going to be ebbs and flows. He's a young player. It's going to have ebbs and flows. The question really boils down to is, did you want Dyson or did you want Herb? Really, you should have never drafted Dyson in the first place. No matter how you slice it or how good Dyson turns out to be, you should have never drafted him, right? You just shouldn't have drafted him. Like, it don't matter how he turned out. The logic behind it wouldn't have made sense because you already had Herb. Dyson, he never developed any of those skills here. You needed Dyson to be the DeJounte Murray. That's why you drafted him. You needed him to become that. That's not who he is. That's not what he's going to be. The
other part of that. The other part of what you're saying is, then when they realized he wasn't that, they tried to turn him into like a stand in the corner 3-and-D guy. And he wasn't that either.
They tried to turn him into fucking Andre Roberson.
Yeah, like
them players don't last long. Even Herb, like at this point, he isn't being maximized. And if he stays the way that he is right now, like the way they're using him right now, then that's just going to be another waste of a player that could have been utilized better. That's just what it is. Like Corey said, Dyson is Matisse style. You know what? The way Dyson was used, you could have gotten Matisse Thybulle or Stanley Johnson and used him the exact same way, and it wouldn't have cost you an 8 pick. That's why it never made any sense. Like that's really what it boils down to.
Yep. Leo, you got anything?
He's still not shooting. He's still not dribbling. He still doesn't dribble the basketball. He's on the team with a facilitator, a guy who's an offensive engine. So he's still not doing a lot of dribbling. He's still not really shooting the ball well. But I will give Dyson kudos for the clips that I've seen, because I'm not watching Hawk games like that or like at all. But the clips that I've seen, he did seem interested in scoring. He seemed to have his mind set on being aggressive. And that's just something that he wasn't doing here. He wouldn't take the rim on a date, never asked it out, never looked at it. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Fire kept telling him the rim was a goal. If you shoot at it, you got a chance of going in. She good with everybody. But he just never, was interested in getting annoyed. I'm with Chaz though, man. I'm with Chaz. I think that you needed him to turn into DeJounte. That's the irony in the whole situation.
Yeah, like we're also like DeJounte's not playing right now, so of course Dyson thinks it's a lot better than like just DeJounte's. He's an all like.
But even then, the Dyson don't fit your timeline. Nothing about the drafting Dyson made sense, and you can say that really. It's like I like Jordan Hawkins. I don't think Jordan Hawkins has like improved greatly. I don't really know nobody that improved here. Like that's the fucking thing.
I think Hawkins is definitely
I feel like watching him, you will say like, oh yeah, he's more confident now that the shots are going in a little bit. But when you start getting into like the advanced stats, like how he's targeted defensively, the rebounding ain't really got there just yet, even though he's still a good rebounder. Like it's with everybody, like even with the defense. Like I think it was Windhurst last season was saying, no, it was Tim last season was saying the Pelicans defense isn't good. People just miss a lot of wide open shots. And then like when you watch the game, it's like motherfuckers was just missing wide open threes, but they were averaging like the highest rate of wide open looks given to opposing defenses. Like it's all make believe. That's why when you get into the playoffs, no one's guarding Herb Jones. Herb Jones' defense doesn't look as effective. because the defense isn't on the string. Everything you saw in the regular season was make believe. Like, that's why you didn't even see Dyson get trotted out on the court really to even try to stop a Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, because they was like, in the playoffs, this probably won't work. Like, everything with this team is just make believe, bro. Like, nothing translates. No one's getting better until they go somewhere else with a real system. And, you know, like Messi, for exceptional as Messi's been, I think he's been very exceptional. The defense still trash. And you got a rim protector, a rim defender. Jose with the gimmicks.
Ross and Jared.
Yeah, no, I just want to address the comment because and I'm sure people I'm sure we've got a ton of this coming over the next few years or whatever. Like, yes, we absolutely dogged the shit out of Dyson for all the things that Chaz and Lito just said, what he was drafted to be, but he clearly was not, and the progression that we saw like within that 2 years. Okay, so like us dogging the shit out of him was totally reasonable. 2, you're absolutely right. They have to be given, young players have to be given space to grow because not everybody is going to be given a chance right away. Well, when you're trying to win games, there isn't always space to grow. So like Dyson in his last game took 21 shots.
He would never do that here.
He would have, he couldn't, the role he was in here, it would have been literally impossible. Like they could have said, Dyson, we will give you $1 million if you take 21 shots this game, and he would not have taken 21. He just couldn't have done it. It wasn't going to happen.
Let me ask you this, Ross. You think, because the comment I was addressing was really about Jalen Williams, and that's what made me say nobody gets that opportunity here. You think Jalen Williams would have been given that runway to be as good as he is now here?
No.
It's different. Probably not, but it's different because depending on what you drafted Jalen Williams for, right? Like,
right.
And so to close out the Dyson thing, and then we'll talk about that. Dyson got traded to the Hawks. They have no interest in winning games right now. So yes, he's being allowed to flourish and to do different things. It's like, it's been funny, like watching a little bit of their games, because I've been saying this whole time, like, I think that, like, Herb last year was probably the peak Herb. Like, I don't know what else he can do. And then I watch other teams and I'm like, well, shit, I might be wrong. Like, maybe that's the most Herb can do here.
Yep.
Under this current system in this role that's limited. Right. Maybe there is more to his game. I don't know. But that's the whole reason we were dogging Dyson, is because all I know is the shit that I watch every game. And if that's the role he's going to be in, then I'm going to make a judgment based upon what I'm seeing. That doesn't make it unreasonable.
How dare you?
That doesn't make it unreasonable or wrong. It just makes it like fact-based. I'm tired of this notion of next year. And that's like basically what I'm being told by the Dyson people now is, well, if you had just given this more time. I don't have any more fucking time. I want to win now.
They want to win now. That's the thing too. The team.
So to Ross's point, as anybody, like you can go back to look at Drew, you can look at AD, you can look at now Dyson, probably some handful of players that that's escaping me right now, but everybody's going to a better predicament for themselves when they
kill.
Yeah. So like to that point, like I think it's the organization that isn't putting players in a position to get better. No one's coming here and being put in a position to get better. They're not being taught things that you're like, okay, this can translate to another team, or this is bettering this player. Who has gotten better under a tutelage of Willie Green? I'm not gonna say Stan because he only got 1 year. You look at Alvin, like no one got better. I mean, you got stories from your boy who was with the Memphis Grizzlies, Tony Allen.
Worst coach in the league, called him.
You know, like in my respect, like dog, no one's gotten better here. Just off general principle, off GP, like no one's gotten better here.
Would you say Herb's gotten better?
See, you look at guys like Jordan Hawkins and Herb, and I'm like, they gotten better because they wanted to get better. They didn't get better because the system that they're in helped them get better.
Right.
No one taught them like, hey, they just came from really good college coaches It was like, okay, well, I'm just going to continue to do what I was already taught, and then I'm going to be better.
So
like
Herb had Oates,
Nate Oates,
and then
Dan
Hawkins
Hurley.
had
Like,
Hurley.
yeah.
And them dudes also came into the league as low usage upperclassmen.
Upperclassmen.
Like you're not really asking like Herb to do a lot. Like offensively, you're not really asking Jordan Hawkins to play make on his own. You just shoot and rebound. Like, and I'm not gonna draw up nothing for you. Just do what you know how to do, figure it out. Like, and that's been the thing. Like, even shout out to Jose. Jose got out the mud, but Jose is a gimmick defensive player. You watch how like Jose is neutralized in the playoffs. Like, you can't play Jose really in the playoffs.
Jose,
like, you can't play.
And I was watching college basketball. Like, go watch it. Just go watch a Jose game in college. I think he won ACC Defensive Player of the Year. Like, he was doing this exact same shit. So
because he plays in college.
You can't tell me that Jose got better. He's the same exact player he was then. And if you look at Herb's per 36s, year 1, year 2, year 3, they're the exact same. They're like they are the exact, almost to the number. They are the same. Other than last year, he made about like he shot a little better from 3, and that. So like that's all we've talked about. But the raw numbers are the same.
Hold on, can I answer my dog?
Where's my dog?
Listen, Mr. Dog. Alvin Staff fixed Lonzo. Like, I think Lonzo Ball knew coming into the NBA that he needed to fix his shot. It wasn't because he came to New Orleans and like, oh, I gotta get my shot. Like, no, they knew from jump he had to get his shot fixed. That wasn't because New Orleans said, hey, we're gonna do a good job of doing that. Zion shooting threes. What? How many threes was he shooting? Please explain to me how many threes Zion was shooting when Alvin Gentry was his coach. Because I promise you, it wasn't a lot. And Brandon Ingram has been in an all-star game. Congratulations, that's been one. Has he been able to continue that sustained success over the last 4 or 5 years? No. And so no one's gotten better here. Nobody.
Even Lonzo, you brought Lonzo here to be your starting point guard. Like, Lonzo wasn't supposed to be a
more
fucking
than 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, he wasn't. Lonzo wasn't supposed to be some 3-and-D fucking guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so much of the shit was stupid, bro. Like, I feel like context is wasted in sports talk just because it's like you can't escape how bad this organization is. Like, the organization is just grossly incompetent. So if you want to talk about drafting Kyra, you want to talk about drafting Jackson Hayes, you want to talk about Dyson over J-Dub, you want to talk. That's why, to me, I honestly feel like
keep going.
That's why, like, to me, bro, honestly, I don't like the point I was making with the Zion thing is like, well, if you're going to try to be good, you got to keep them. But if you're going to just tear it down, trade everybody. Let's just start over for real. Because if you just going to be like, well, all right, fuck it. Let's still try to thread the needle. You know, we're going to do this. If you're still trying to be good, I understand it. But if not, you got to start over, bro, because it don't matter who you trade for. If you got this regime in the building, they're not going to be good here. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to pop off. Cooper Flag ain't going to work in New Orleans. Ace Bailey ain't going to work in New Orleans. You got to get these dudes out the building. Like, get the talking heads out the building, and then maybe something can happen.
So we're getting to fan questions here. I got to address this. If y'all are so worried about winning, the pressure would have been better directed towards Zion over the past 6 years. Last year, the fan base blamed BI for a poor showing. Z has held this team hostage. I don't hate your point. I do think that both of them, though, are at fault. Sure, you want to talk about Brandon. Like, Zion's been bad. Zion has not been responsible. Zion has not been a professional. But Brandon also has not been a professional either. Over the last couple of years, he hasn't been a professional either. Like, we had the toe injury, the concussion, all this other shit. Like, they're both at fault. Like, so it's not like a Brandon thing or a Zion thing. Like, they're both at fault. You follow the money. It's what we all been talking about. In my opinion, I think they've both failed in their tenure here in New Orleans. So we'll get to fan questions right now. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate all the new members. We'll get to what's that, Chaz?
No, I was shouting out Gus. He's like, "What's up?"
Oh, sorry. What's up, guys?
What's up, Gus?
X, appreciate you. Of course, you changed to icon Popeyes when it should be Canes. Appreciate the $5. I'm just here to represent my client Popeyes and our defamation suit against Justin Napoli for the wild shit he said the other night. Yeah, I like Canes. I
Shout out to X,
I guess
man.
we're gonna do this thing again. I'm trying not being disrespectful. I just like Canes, bro.
You could, well, just say you like Canes.
Yeah, but you brought Popeyes up for no reason.
You did
That's
this.
cool.
You did this.
I like Canes every now and again too.
Yeah, man. When it's hot,
Nothing wrong with that.
crispy,
I just like Canes.
no flavor. Yeah.
That's
Canes, hey.
Carl, appreciate you. $50 super chat. Thanks for everything, Carl.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate you, Carl.
This is why I like you and Lito are just like y'all get out of stream hard with this.
Wait, what?
Just out of control.
What do you mean?
Out of control. Shout out to the crew, best pod show on the internet, man. Appreciate you, Carl. Let $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Carl. Dyson at Magic City right now with some lemon pepper
Hell
wings.
yeah.
Watching the pod, laughing at us.
That's that.
Right.
That's what really. If you really want to be honest, that's really the essential for Dyson. He in Atlanta, and as my dog Lito know, he's a Atlanta aficionado.
Yeah.
He's been a couple places.
Look how happy
seen
he
a
just
couple
got.
things.
Yeah.
He got a story. He got stories.
Guy hadn't smiled in a couple weeks. Look out.
He got stories.
Hopefully,
Yo.
Chris is to the show.
I want shout out to Dyson. Shout out to Will Chill, but Dyson, let me tell you something, brother. Tonight, Shade and Sharp gave you the motherfucking blues out there, boy. Shit, you couldn't do nothing with Shade and Sharp tonight, brother.
Well,
Shade
chill,
and
new
Sharp gave
member.
you the blues.
Shout out to Will, bro. New member. Y'all, you got to DM me for your merch, by the way. So make sure you DM me or email me. And appreciate the super chat. Will Gail is the perfect position to clean house before Christmas. She needs a real to advise her. This
That boy
Will.
also education for you right there.
Will.
Advise her. This is do or die. Lito, do you think Gail? I mean, I already know the answer to this, but do you want a different question? Should I give you a different question?
I mean, you can ask me this.
Ain't gonna happen. She ain't cleaning house for Christmas. Ain't no way. That's why I like Griff staying. E-Dog, appreciate you, the super chat. Stay delivering the best content, y'all. What will it take for Gail Lauschka to fire Griff? I don't think it happens.
No.
Like, do any of y'all disagree with that? Like, I think Griff gets another. I think it's one more opportunity as a coach.
I think it's possible they fire you.
I don't think so, Jazz. They haven't no. They just don't. They just
I'm not sure.
I just can't see it. I
think
can't see it, bro.
I could see it. I think
I don't.
because of what I believe.
I think he's
because what I believe they care about, and that is staying out of the news. I think if this Zion thing gets uglier, it could happen because they don't want to be in the news for nonsense. They don't want to. They want to keep like if you see a big drop in season ticket sales next year after a disaster like this, that would be the only thing. I could see it.
They're raising ticket prices, bro. Yeah, what, Jared?
Hold on, dog. I got a theory, dog.
That should be good. Is that?
I got a theory for sure.
Should be good.
I can see them firing Griff, not for the reasons y'all think. I think Mickey wants Griff fired, and this is gonna sound crazy. If they fire Griff, they won't fire Mickey. That takes a little pressure off Mickey because maybe it's the same ownership group. So you're like, okay, fire that GM. You're not gonna fire this GM. You're not gonna fire me. I'm not doing as bad as him. You know what I'm saying?
Mickey
will leave when Mickey is ready to leave.
That's what I'm saying. Like I just think if Mickey's playing the game, he's like, man, maybe you just get this dude out of here.
he's the problem.
Yeah, he's the real problem.
Yeah.
See, my team won back then. I just had to get rid of the coach.
To Five's point, if you don't move on from Griff, really to me nothing else matters. I don't care who the coach is. I really don't give a fuck who on the team. If you don't move on from Griff, this tenure could not have been more disastrous. If you don't move on from Griff, I don't think nothing else matters, bro. Like because Griff been like everything goes back to Griff.
I don't think Griff's been very good. Thomas, super chat. Appreciate you, Thomas. Cavs won 51 games and still fire their coach. Pels celebrate 49 wins. We almost fucking hung a banner, Thomas, with 49 wins. I mean, you would have been. We won 49 49 wins.
49.
40 got 49 wins.
Speaking
Man.
of wins.
Wait, whoa.
Shout out to my wave.
Man,
jumping into about
now's not the
20,
time.
21.
Now's not the time.
Get
now
your
is not
A-Line
the
shirt,
Shout out
A-Line
A-Line.
apparel. Shout them out.
Fucking Brian Kelly, bro.
One fucking
trash.
here.
504 boy, member for a year, bro. Member for a year. Did Leo ever tell his BMF story?
I did not. I'm a
Is that a members only show or
man? Ooh, might have to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me home too.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to appreciate all the super chats, guys. Thanks for everything. Thanks for all your support, all the members, everything like that. And 200 people there. We're 2 hours in. We still got 200 people in here. So y'all are some of the best in the business. So appreciate y'all. Space African Jesus, Dyson Daniels had 12 points and 17 shots, 6 turnovers. Shocking game for a Kawhi Pippen hybrid. But that's crazy. Space African Jesus. I didn't even see this comment until we pulled that. We actually had a segment on that. So I appreciate you. Okay. Chaz, you texted the group today. Where's Carlo? He had a good game today.
Yeah, he had a good game. I think, again, it's a guy you invested a second round pick in, which is valuable in today's economy. You gave him a real fucking contract. It ain't like none of the players on your roster worth a damn. Like, why wouldn't you be evaluating the young talent right now that, 7-footer, athletic, you're struggling in the front court department? Like, you're going to keep rolling Javonte Green out there at the 4. You're going to keep rolling JRE out there. Like, nothing about it makes sense. It's like you're trying to position yourself to fail. You got two-way guys playing minutes and not the dude that's under fucking contract at a position of need. It's stupidity.
He's been talking about for 3 or 4 years. Look, we're a show accountability. Chung's been obnoxious now for like 2 or 3 weeks. This isn't just a one show. Chung has been out of control.
Get him.
Chung been a freak ass.
What are we gonna do?
What
we got for
company
Chung?
burger ad? You've been holding out.
Oh no! I mean, you've been in New York. I've been playing company burger. We've been working. You've been on vacation, so it's all good, bro.
That's some spicy night.
Debo, stall him out.
That's how we do.
That's some spicy.
I would kick over my door to Oval Office and I would chop that motherfucking desk in half.
You know what? I just thought about it. Maybe they trying to showcase JRE, and they know they know. No, I'm being serious. I'm being kind of serious. Maybe they're trying to showcase him.
Yeah,
they might be trying to showcase him.
Hey, what did JRE do the other night? What'd you say? You told him to retire? Is that right?
Retired, dog. Retired, dog.
Jumper, bro.
He got a beautiful shot, bro. A beautiful shot. Five, what I tweeted, 5. He Memphis Bleak.
Oh yeah.
Space African Jesus back in the super chat.
Wait, say it again, Chaz. We got another one?
I'm saying Space African Jesus back in the super chat.
Yeah, I gotta get super chats up first. Space African Jesus, appreciate you. Never forget. Griff is the same guy who, when asked about the center, responded, "We're gonna figure it out." I actually got you here, bro. Hold up. I got you. Hold up.
That's awful, bro.
Where's the? We got so many fucking videos that I can't even find. We got.
There's a lot of good stuff.
I mean, we got this.
That's
Stanley.
Gotta stay.
Stanley's gotta stay.
Well, that second game, we got our ass kicked.
Diddley gotta stay.
We're gonna figure it out.
That was it. I found it. We're gonna figure it out. All right. Ross, what do you guys think the deadline looks like for the Pelicans?
Someone is gonna get traded. Someone is gonna get traded by the Pelicans. I don't know whether it'll be the probably the person that needs to, but I believe that either Brandon or CJ is getting traded.
You know what? I think you got to move one in December. I think you move one in December and you move the other in February. And I look at what's going on in Denver. Like Denver needs help desperately. And you got other teams that kind of really need help, especially in the front court. I think people gonna come around to Brandon Ingram situation in December. and maybe CJ in a pick or two in February.
Lito, Sean YMC. What do you think Stan would have done with this roster?
I think this roster would have been very good. Understand if you think about it, Stan was in that era of changing how you attack defenses with how they played, outside in. And if you look at who he had on that team in Turkoglu, Jameer, Dwight Howard, I can't think of bro name. Yeah, Rashad Lewis,
Petrus. Petrus.
Mikal, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And you that's a finals team, right? I wouldn't say it's necessarily all that talented. If you apply Stan's like mindset to this, what you can't though, because this shit would, to be honest, the roster might not even be the roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you wouldn't have probably DeJounte. You probably wouldn't have. Maybe you don't even make the CJ trade for real. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Ross, once again, what coach do we want to take over?
Jimmy Borrego.
Okay.
James here locally.
Yeah. Jarrett, what coach do you guys think would be a great fit for this team?
Hamas Borrego.
Chaz, I don't think Zion even likes his teammates from Dot. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't really know what to make of that.
I think it's vice versa, to be honest with you. I really don't know if the guys.
It's not really a question, but I don't care if he do or don't. I don't care if none of them like each other. Honestly, I just want you to play.
Yeah, I would love for him to play. Lito, what about BI, Zion, Herb, TM3 being here and still physically look the same from South?
Go ahead.
Chaz, go ahead, big guy.
To me, that's the problem. That's an excellent observation. To me, the fact that Herb looks a little stronger and Brandon kind of gained weight and lost it, but nutritionally, no one looks like they're like coming into their adulthood. Like everybody still looks like they play basketball part-time. Like everybody still, like Jackson Hayes never really got significantly bigger and stronger here. It's just, you could tell there's a lack of a regimen here. Like there's a lack of a stringent regimen. I pointed out that how the Phoenix Suns did that corny ass cringe workout after the game. That shit looked corny and cringe at the time. I would kill for the Pelicans to do that here. I would kill for the Pelicans to even have that level of fake dedication here. Because them dudes were serious. They went to the finals. They lost, but they went. Like these dudes, stay off the weed, man.
Appreciate some more super chats. Ezekiel Bojangles killing Popeyes.
Boy, if you don't get that bullshit out of here, I don't hear nothing about the Bojangles, bro. That shit is weak.
Appreciate the super chat though.
Weak.
Yeah, Bojangles in the airport. Bojangles kind of not in the ass. It ain't.
Appreciate the super chat. Jesus.
Bro, they need to take that shit.
That shit was personal for five.
Yeah.
Five took off, man.
Well, if it's not Wendy's, like I don't,
bro. All right, Justin.
Stop.
Wendy's is the most.
I told you that was gonna be enough, bro. Listen, I want Todd Graves to buy this team just as much as the next person. But you disrespected Wendy's too many times. Yeah. It tastes the same everywhere you go.
Trash.
It don't matter.
Exactly, I agree.
No,
Joe, do you think?
Are you crazy?
Nah, you are.
Are you crazy? Are you insane? Are you good? Did you have a good day today?
I told you we were walking. We was walking on the sidewalk. Me and Joe was like, man, I had a good day today.
Good day, man. Good day today. And you gonna fuck it up talking about Wendy's? Yeah. That's wild, bro.
I'm sorry.
Wild.
You're right. My bad. Joe, do you think Borrego could get this team to 500 right by All-Star break if he took over the next game / No, but it'd be a more entertaining product, and I think you'd actually have an actual vision and a pathway, like an actual like. This is how we're going to play every single night. It's not going to be one way this way, one way that way, one way this way. No, you're going to have an actual head coach in which I think will play a certain style of basketball, whether it's good or bad. They're going to play the same exact way every single night. So I think Borrego's way better than Willie Green. But we'll see. Leo, did you start this one? I didn't. Or Ross, did anyone start this one? Bi going back to LA to play with AD. Does anyone?
Go ahead. I'll give you 2 firsts and some solid role players. Do your thing. Play.
That's cool.
You need to pause that shit. What you need.
Jeez, Cade. So we got Cade. Listen, Jarrett, Cade. So we have at least another 4 years of Griff.
No. Hell no. I don't see it. I can't. No. Only Griff I want to see is Peter Griffin. That's on my TV. I don't want to see no dealings with Griff for the next couple of years. Hopefully next year is his last year. Give or take. I don't know what his contract is up because they don't release that kind of information. Most other organizations do. I'm straight. I hope Mrs. Gale one sells the team, and then the next guy, hopefully it's Ty Graves, be like, nope, I want a different GM.
Shout out Canes.
Y'all, funny. Charlotte been playing really well recently. Shout out to Charles Lee, who was a candidate for the Pelicans. And one thing stood out to me, LaMelo hit a clutch three. He was celebrating, and Charles Lee was like, "Get back on defense! What the fuck you doing?" And LaMelo, oh shit! Like, I just can't imagine dudes on this team like for one, getting back on defense, and for two, being receptive to that level, that type of coaching. Like, they pissed the bed.
Did you see the post game, Chaz?
Yeah, I did see the post game.
See, did you like? There was one reporter talking about he was complimenting LaMelo about his ability to play with energy and whatever. And Charles like almost dismissed what the fuck he was saying. It's like, nah, the guy stayed to the game plan. Everybody played well. That just shows you a level of like, nah, this is about the team. I don't give a care what LaMelo's doing. This is about the team and what we need to do to win a basketball.
Foundation here.
Yeah.
X, we need to put Chung straight in jail. I agree. Remember for a month. Appreciate you, brother. 7 days a week. I mean, whatever.
The brothers on Carondelet and the one on Illusion Fields. Them two brothers for sure.
Jesse can't even tell you what's the best Canes that he's been to.
Like I'm confused on why what's going on?
What's the best Canes you've been to?
The best Canes, the original one in Baton Rouge, bro.
That's the best Canes you've been to.
It's the best one.
Actually, the best Canes I've been to is actually the one on Highland. That's the best Canes you can go to. Yeah.
But we both agree Baton Rouge, so good minds.
No, it was created in Baton Rouge. There's a Canes.
So?
So.
What you're upset about? I think you're more upset about the Wendy's comments than you are the Canes.
Because you didn't need to disrespect Wendy's. Man, continue on with the show.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Hey, you ever did that Popeyes buffet in Lafayette?
Boy, you really want to have a conversation. If you want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
No, there was.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. to my dogs. Listen, there was a Popeyes buffet in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah.
I tell people this, and they're like, no, but it was like, but I'm like, no.
See, you don't know Baby D like I know Baby D.
Yeah.
Listen,
your boy, man, PJ, this is your guy,
PJ,
your guy,
PJ. Listen, I know you be tripping. It's all good. Like,
shout out to you, PJ. I got you, bro.
We'll have a conversation
whatever.
We're talking about Popeyes buffet. Listen, dog, you can pay $10 and they will give you a styrofoam plate and say, get whatever you want. And I was like, man, y'all bullshitting.
They had one on Carrollton like a long time ago.
You had one?
That was before my time.
Listen, I'm in college, bro. I can walk to the Popeyes buffet, pay $10, and they're like, all right, get whatever you want. I can go up there as many times as I want.
It's crazy.
Bro, you know how many I used to bring my
yeah. Let's pod.
And Justin, Lito, y'all see me in action.
Let's pod.
See me in action.
I don't know, but like
y'all saw me. I'm just saying, y'all saw me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, that place was amazing, man.
Shout out Sweetie. All right. Company Burger is the official burger of Propels Talk and Boot Crew Media. Located at 4600 Ferret Street, Company Burger has been locally owned and operated for 11 years. Grind the meat, bake the buns, make the mayo, get the homemade tots. Company Burger uses Creekstone Farms prime beef to create the best burger in the city with milkshakes to go and a full bar. Company Burger is open every day besides Tuesday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Can't make it out? No worries, we have you covered. You can order online right now at thecompanyburger.com or check them out on the Toast or Uber Eats app. Company Burger, the official burger of Boot Crew Media. Man, so many people to shout out, but especially Lala, obviously in the background doing us. She's the best in the game. So appreciate you, Lala. All the fans, all the members, all the super chats. Really appreciate y'all. We will be back live again Tuesday night.
My God.
Blocking
Carl, what happened?
We got Carl.
You was having a good day, bro.
And then
Carl.
Hey, hold on.
Hold on.
Wait.
The side. You talking about the chicken or the sides? That's
all I'm gonna say is I'm just saying, there's a rap lyric that says Popeyes for the ballers, the ghetto eat churches.
Ooh.
I'm just saying that happened. Like that's a real thing. I know people who go like I know people who will be like, man, churches will give me 80 pieces of chicken for $5. Like, why would I go anywhere else? But check this out. I got a question for y'all. This is what my 5 seconds is. I want to pass this around the panel. Y'all let me know. I saw a comment over the weekend from an NBA player who said, the question was, who do you give more credit for changing the big game of basketball, Steph Curry or James Harden? And this particular person said James Harden. And in my head, I'm like, I don't agree, because you see all the kids, the first thing they do is they shooting the ball from half court. Like, it's how basketball is now. Then he started talking about the Lucas of the world, the different variations of the Euro
step back
threes, the step back threes. I'm like, I don't know, man. And shout out to James Harden for becoming second all time in 3-pointers made tonight also. But anyways, I want to hear what y'all thought.
I actually kind of agree with Harden more than Steph.
Okay.
I think Harden changed a certain look. Steph, obviously the 3-point line became everything was Steph in the range and everything. But I think Harden, with the step back, the Euro, the foul baiting, the rip through, I truly think James more than Steph. But I don't think there's a wrong answer here, though. But I would go with James.
Yeah, I'd undoubtedly go with Steph. I mean, just the volume of 3-pointers and the way he shoots them, the efficiency that he has shot them at. Like, no one did that. No one did this previously. There's been ISO players forever. And now Harden plays it a little different, but like you could say Harden has taken a lot of shit from Ginobili.
Harden changed officiating, though.
Harden, like with the Euro stat, like that's fair. And if you that's a fair comment.
I think Harden is.
We just have magazine shit.
We had New Orleans cooking out here.
Lito knows.
No, I would say Curry. I mean, it's just if you go to a park, what are you seeing? You're seeing people play more like Steph Curry than you are James Harden. I guess that's really my only point.
I would liken it to James Harden is probably like Lil Wayne, but Steph Curry is like NWA. Like you might like James Harden. Steph changed the game so much. James Harden had to start playing like Steph. Yeah. Like that Rockets team had to start taking nothing but threes. And before James Harden, there was Dwayne Wade, like who with the Euro, with the foul baiting, not to the level, the heliocentric level that James Harden did it, but Steph changed the game so much. He changed multiple leagues. The reason Caitlin Clark is like Caitlin Clark because she plays like Steph. Like, is Steph he changed the game totally, for maybe for better or worse, but he changed the game like totally in my opinion.
I witnessed James Harden score a 50-point triple-double in Houston,
Oh, yes.
like in person.
Yes.
And I thought it was the most amazing thing. And people in Houston didn't even react the way I would have wanted them to react. I was like, damn, this is crazy. From probably like, it just depends on like a perspective of how you kind of look at it, right? Like if you look at basketball from a player perspective, you're like, there's more levels of James Harden in the league, right? People that play like foul baiting, the three, like the step backs that comes from him. But if you look at basketball from a strategic standpoint, that comes from Steph. Like Steph forced you to play or even draft differently. Like that's the thing that Steph, like he forced, like to Chaz's point, he forced leagues to be different. Like every GM was looking for the next Steph Curry or getting more threes up. That's because that's what he allotted them to do. So when I look at basketball, it's like either answer can be, you know, whatever, just how you look at basketball through your own lens. And I gotta sit there and be like, damn, James Harden is one of the most elite basketball players. He probably won't get the credit that he deserves just because of the playoff failures. But bro, to be second all time in 3-pointers made behind Steph is an amazing accomplishment from a guy that was a 6 man playing behind Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Elite, bro.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I just think the way the game is officiated out, James Harden had such an impact on that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Literally, like that guy just changed such a. But Steph is, I mean,
like yo,
one
from the logo, people like walking away, like everything, like man.
So many kids want to be like Steph instead of James. So like, I think he gets like.
Well, I think that's more of like a appeal standpoint, not necessarily like a.
Ross ready to go.
No, I'm just saying like that's from an appeal standpoint, not necessarily like Steph has appeal in, you know, other demographics. You know, yeah.
It's a great question. Lito, what's your answer?
I think I'm gonna go with James. Just 5 point with the 50-point triple doubles, like it, and it's no. This is not a knock to Steph, but Steph was just doing one thing. Like there is no like James Harden had to do everything for that team, or he did everything for that team. I'm not knocking either one, but I just wanted to end it with this. I did find it like interesting that we was talking about Steph Curry earlier and talking about how he won his MVP in what year?
Year 6.
My bad, Ross.
7.
It's crazy though. You just talking 6 years and like you know what I'm saying. Like expectations are crazy, and then you saw what Steph did in college. I don't know, bro. It's a hard question. It's a hard question.
If you want to go down another path, this for next show, we can start talking about where Jokic is going to land.
He way up.
Now is fucking crazy.
Let's talk about that next show.
We're 2 hours 13 minutes. Appreciate everybody. 2 hours 13 minutes.
Damn.
Appreciate everybody here, guys. We'll see y'all Tuesday night for the recap. See ya.
Man, hit the like button, bro.
Yeah, smash the like button.
God damn.